Have you ever been listening to a song and like within the first second, you know exactly who's singing? Well, for fans of BTS, that happens pretty much every time with Park Jimin. It's like a vocal fingerprint, a sound so distinct you just can't mistake it. But what is it? What really makes his voice so one of a kind? Let's break it down.
I mean, it's a genuine mystery, right? So many artists have incredible voices, but Jimin's has this quality that feels almost impossible to copy. We can all hear that it's special, but what are the actual ingredients? What's the secret sauce that makes his sound so unique?
And hey, this isn't just a fan thing. It's been recognized on a huge global scale. In a recent poll, Jimin was voted #1 for K-pop's ultimate vocal tone genius. Now that's a pretty big title, but wait till you see the numbers behind it.
Okay, get this. He didn't just win. He absolutely dominated, pulling in over 80% of the entire vote. That is just staggering. And that overwhelming agreement really confirms what we're talking about. There's something truly exceptional going on with his vocal tone that just captivates people everywhere.
All right, so to solve this vocal mystery, let's start with our very first clue, the natural foundation of his voice. This is really where it all begins.
So on paper, vocal coaches would classify Jimin as a light lyric tenor. And yeah, that type is known for a warm, bright sound. But if that was the whole story, he'd just sound like a lot of other tenors out there. The real secret isn't just the classification, it's what he does with it.
And this is where things get really interesting. See, a typical tenor stays in the standard male registers, but Jimin, he consistently pushes into the female mezzo-soprano range. This creates what so many people describe as this androgynous or kind of genderless beauty in his voice. His high notes never sound strained. They're just feathery, effortless, and so sweet.
You hear this description from fans all the time, right? And it's perfect. It just perfectly captures that smooth, warm, sweet quality of his upper register. It's an emotional way to describe a really incredible technical skill. But believe it or not, his amazing range is only the first piece of the puzzle.
So let's move on to our second clue. If his range is the natural gift, this next part is all about the practice skill that he built on top of it. We're talking about his absolute mastery over vocal texture.
You know, unlike singers who kind of have one consistent tone, Jimin is a total vocal shapeshifter. He can go from this heavier, almost sultry delivery, like what we hear in his solo stuff on MUSE, and then pivot to this crystalline, angelic clarity in the very next breath. That ability to constantly change his vocal texture, that is a signature Jimin move.
So how does he do it?
Well, a huge part of it is his push-pull breath technique. He intentionally uses air to create this feeling of intimacy and vulnerability. It feels less like he's singing at you and more like he's whispering the lyrics directly to you. It's so personal.
And it's this incredible control over texture that puts him in the company of absolute legends. We're talking artists like Michael Jackson and Prince, who are also masters of using breath and texture to convey deep emotion. That puts Jimin in a pretty iconic group of vocal stylists.
Okay, now we get to the part that ties it all together. His range is rare, his texture is masterful, but what's supporting it all? This right here is the aha moment in our little investigation.
And here's the critical question. For most singers, using that much air would mean losing all your power and control, especially while doing intense choreography. So how in the world does he maintain such a delicate sound with so much strength behind it?
The answer isn't just in his vocal cords, it's in his entire body. The secret weapon that underpins everything he does vocally is his deep, extensive training in contemporary dance.
Let me break this down. All those years of dance have given him this elite-level core control and muscle memory, and that gives him the unmatched breath support he needs to pull off that incredibly difficult, airy vocal style with perfect stability. He's literally controlling his voice from his core, a physical discipline most singers just don't have.
So, this brings us to our final revelation. We've gathered all the clues, the range, the texture, the incredible physical support, and now we can really see why his vocal fingerprint is so unique and pretty much impossible to copy.
The formula is just irreplicable. It's not just one thing. It's this perfect storm of a rare, androgynous natural range combined with masterful control over texture, all of it supported by a dancer's unique breath mechanics and then delivered with such raw emotion. You can't just learn that in a studio. It's a combination of artistry and athleticism built over a lifetime.
And this is exactly why a publication like Weaver's magazine flat out said Jimin is his own genre. Especially in his solo work, like on Face and MUSE, he's not trying to fit a mold. He is leaning all the way into his own unique vocal color, creating a sound that is 100% his own.
And really,
That's what it all comes down to, isn't it? Sure, you can practice hitting a high note or try to sing with a breathy style. But can you ever truly replicate that perfect storm of natural talent, specialized physical training, and the raw emotional soul behind the voice? That's not just technique, that's true artistry.